You know, my friends, you are going to ask me a question. And you're going to go, Leggy mate, what question are we going to ask you? There you go. You've already asked the first question. No, you're going to ask me a question about this one. The new 1 million gold. Oh yeah, the question you're going to say to me, Leggy mate, you're going to say, how does this fit into the million lineup? And how does it fit into the overall scheme of things? You know, my friends, I'm going to be honest with you and say I haven't got an absolute definitive answer. That's a really big word, definitive. Whew. Man, I've never used the word definitive ever. I'm going to have to look that one up because I think it may have possibly been the right word. What I was going to say is I haven't got the absolute perfect answer, but I'm going to try and have a go to try and answer the questions that you've got about this one. Okay, first of all though, come here. A massive warm welcome to a John Legg fragrance review. I'm not really a fragrance reviewer, I'm just a crazy random guy. This channel, it's not monetized, I'm not sponsored, I'm not attached to anything, not even reality. This, my friends, is just me, John Legg, a standard kind of guy with a massive fragrance collection, sharing these fragrances with you with one aim, my friends, to inspire you to get a good fragrance and to spray it continually every day. Oh yeah, so this is the new one. 2024 sees the launch of million gold, 1 million gold. Now the weird thing is, when you go on Rabanne's website and you look at the pictures of this fragrance, it doesn't have the 1 in the middle of any of their pictures. It's the same bottle, it's the same everything, but when it comes through, it has a 1. I mean, it is 1 million, but trust me, you check the website and it does not have the 1 in the middle of this little chain link. You know what? That's details. What about this fragrance? Okay, so 2007, 2008 saw the launch of an incredible, groundbreaking fragrance. I can't even hold it. Right, I only have a miniature because I'm not a massive fan of the current formulation. 1 million launched back in the day, a groundbreaking, now legendary fragrance. And because of its popularity, because it literally took off like a rocket, and it still is quite popular. I mean, not so much the original, but all the different versions that have come from it. They launch one maybe once a year, sometimes a little bit more frequent than that. Okay, so million gold 2024. Now, let me try and tell you what this is all about, how it relates to the original, if it does at all, and where it fits into the sort of lineup. I'm going to try and give it a go. Right, here we go, let's spray it. Good start, isn't it really? Spray it and then I can talk about it. I do enjoy your patience with me. Here we go. First of all, I don't normally say this, but the sprayer is awesome. It literally just puts so much on your skin. Okay, you can tell by the smile, this is a good one. Right, first thing, let's deal with the performance. Put it down, Leggy, and tell the good people about the performance. Now, I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. This, my friends, is an incredibly oily fragrance. Now, bear in mind, this has only realistically been out for a couple of months. So this, my friends, is a launch model. This is as strong as it ever will be, because over the years, you know what happens, reformulated, in other words, watered down. Okay, so in a couple of years' time, if they're still making this one, it will be a lot weaker. So this, as a launch model, man, this is so oily. I'm going to tell you first of all about the performance, because it is called a EDP INTENSE. And I'm going to say, hand on heart, gold on heart, this, my friends, is very worthy of that Eau de Parfum Intense title. Okay, now, on skin, and I'm not joking, on skin, it is there all of the day that you first spray it, and crazily, it is there all of the following day as a skin scent. And you're going to say, well, what about if you showered in between times? Because you kind of should. This stuff, my friends, goes through a shower. Unless you particularly scrub the area that you've sprayed it, this is on your skin for 2 whole days. Now, catch it on your clothes and right through the wash, okay? I've had it on a t-shirt, it went through the wash, and I can still smell it on that t-shirt. And you're going to say, Leggy, what washing powder are you using? Right, standard washing powder, standard cycle of washing, okay, comes through, and as I ironed it, this fragrance is still in there. What about the projection? Okay. The original 2007 Paco Rabanne, when Paco was still around, the 1 million used to fill rooms and it used to choke people in cars and that sort of thing. Okay. This one, for around about 2 hours, it's radiating off you. I'm not going to use the words strong choking projection. Couldn't even say the words. I'm not going to use the word massive projection. It isn't. It more radiates off you, okay? As an overall sort of experience with this fragrance, and I'm not talking about the skin, because that's literally 2 days. As an overall experience, this is about 8 or 9 hours, because after the 2 hours of it radiating off you, it then sits quite close as a scent bubble, and for the remainder of that time, you as the wearer, for the whole day, you will smell it. You warm up and this stuff is still there. The oiliness of this is awesome because it just keeps giving, okay? And even when you think, I haven't smelt it for a while, trust me, within 10 minutes, you'll smell it again. So honestly, my friends, performance is not lacking on this one. The performance is very, very, very good. Okay, Parfum Intense, it is. Okay, cannot fault the performance. And you're going to say, Leggy, now you've dealt with the performance, what about the actual smell? Calm down, I'm getting there. Now, buried deep within this fragrance, almost distant from the actual main part of the fragrance, is a bit of the original 2007. And let me tell you that honestly, hand on heart, if I smelt this and someone hadn't shown me the bottle, I just sprayed it and I didn't see the presentation, I wouldn't particularly, even though I'm a massive fanboy of 1 million and I know every curvature of 1 million, even I would not have particularly guessed this was anything to do with 1 million. Okay? But when you know, and when you're familiar with 1 million, you do get the distant vibes. Now, what vibes are you going to get? Because you don't get the bubblegum vibe. Okay. Neither do you get the sort of ambery, sort of patchouli, rosy sort of vibe. What you do get in this one, what survives if you like, even though it's all very distant, is the slight fruitiness, the orange, and then the slight sort of spiciness with the cinnamon. In fact, I'll be honest with you, when you first spray this, for the first 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, it smells a bit like a Christmas candle. It has a slightly waxy, cinnamony, fruity, slightly woody feel. Okay, it's still at that sort of Christmas candle stage. Okay, but after this sort of Christmas candle stage, that sounds really bad, doesn't it? After the hint of the original has sort of gone, okay, it leaves essentially a woody fragrance. And I'll be honest with you, for the majority of the time you're wearing this, you just smell wood. Okay, now, it's not an oily kind of wood. It's not really an oady kind of wood. It's a very sweet, clean, almost fresh kind of wood. Okay, so it's not a wood that you've got to sort of say, dear me, that's going to be heavy going. This is light, this is sweet, this is classy, and I'm going to suggest to you that personally I see this as a cooler weather fragrance. Honestly though, the original 1 million I can pretty much wear all year round. Very versatile. So is this a versatile fragrance? Okay, I think that maybe some people could wear this all year round because it does have a lightness to it. But personally, because it's so woody, I sort of see this more as a cooler weather fragrance. Okay. Has it lost its sort of fun element? No, it hasn't. It does still have a kind of a slightly fun element, although I would say that, and this is bad, I just see this as a slightly more formal sort of fragrance, whereas something like 1 million Lucky or 1 million Perfume I kind of see as like a very easygoing sort of fragrance, maybe jeans and a t-shirt. This Million Gold is kind of like a shirt and tie fragrance. I'm not saying you've got to, but it does have a sort of a formal sort of element to it. It's incredibly classy and it's incredibly refined. And I say for the majority of the time, you smell sweet woods. Now the woods, I wasn't totally sure when I first smelt it, so I looked up on old Rabanne's website, and it's cedarwood, which is a very sweet sort of light wood, and it's sandalwood. I say I couldn't have told you which woods they were until I looked it up. But once I know it's cedarwood, I can pick out the sweet cedarwood. And I say the other big player is sandalwood. So, is it similar to any of the other ones in the lineup? Because this is what you want to know. Now, I don't have a bottle of the original Privé. You know, it sort of sits a little bit between, I can't put them on the laptop because you can't see them, it sort of sits a little bit, it's not quite as heavy and intense as Privé, and neither is it quite the 1 million Perfume. But what I would say is that it kind of sits somewhere in there between those two. I mean, Privé, honestly, you cannot wear Privé in the summer, whereas Perfume, you jolly well can. So it sort of bounces around a little bit between those two. I don't really see it as a massive close-up to the original. It really isn't. Okay, I say the vibes, the sort of hint of the vibes of the original is there, but that's turned right down, and the sweet woods is turned right up. Okay, if that helps you to understand it. But what about the overall scheme of things? Would I recommend this? Now, I'll put my hands up to this one. When I first smelt it, the first time I wore it, I wasn't wowed. I sprayed it and I was like, that's a strong fragrance. I got the suspicion it was going to last, and it did. But realistically, it didn't sort of totally entertain me. It didn't wow me. But you know what? The second, the third time I wore it, I was like, it's crazy, because although it's a really, really simple fragrance, it's essentially sweet woods. And honestly, from the initial spray to the dry down, there isn't a massive change, which normally gives an entertainment value. I will be honest with you though, because it's so smooth, because it's so classy, it does have it has an addiction, this one. And realistically, because it lasts a long time, it feeds your addiction. Okay, once you've got it up your nose, you want to keep smelling it. And I say, it's not a complex fragrance, it's not the best ever fragrance, it's not the most amazing ever fragrance. But because it is so good, it smells quality, it smells classy, and it's incredibly well blended, you get an addiction to this stuff and you want to keep smelling it. Fortunately, because the performance is so good, you can have that addiction fed nicely. Now, I really hope I've given you enough information. I suppose I need to tell you, it's the 100ml will cost you, I think it's about £80, 80 to 90 British pounds. Not a cheap fragrance. Is it worth it? Now, in terms of performance, massive tick. Performance, I say, will not disappoint you. In terms of the smell, don't do what I did and the first time just go, it's a something and nothing, it doesn't really do much for me, whatever. Persist with it, and maybe the second or third time, if nothing else, it's the performance that gets you, and you go, you know what, I can still smell it. And that sort of feeds your addiction for wanting to smell it. I know it's going to sound crazy, but the two go hand in hand. And after the maybe third or fourth time you've worn it, you go, all right, I'm loving it. I actually think it's a fantastic fragrance. Is it the best 1 million? No. Is it the most complex? No. Is it the most amazing ever fragrance? No. Is it worth having? It actually is, my friends. But all right, wait for a deal, because at the moment it's just launched. Wait for a deal, because I don't really, hand on heart, say it's worth the full money, because it just isn't. Unless you're a particular collector and you're desperate for every single 1 million, this is possibly something where you just hold off for a deal. And there will be deals. Once it's been out for 6 months or so, you'll get your deals, or coming up to Christmas you'll get all the offers and the free postage and all that sort of thing. So wait, just hold fire for that. It's not absolutely desperate that you go out and get it straight away. Right, okay, now I really do appreciate you coming to this channel. This channel is not professional. I'm the furthest thing from professional, but what I do appreciate is your time, your patience, and the fact that you're just about to click on thumbs up. If nothing else, just to shut me up. Okay, I would appreciate a thumbs up. I would love you to come back for the next review, because all being well, there'll be another one. And in the meantime, my friends, I need you to stay safe. Please promise me you will stay safe. But promise me more than anything else that you will get a good fragrance, whichever one you choose. This one, for example, and you will spray it. Not just on a Monday, not just on a Thursday. Every single day, before you leave your front door, pop it in your bag so you can top up at lunchtime. Keep those gorgeous vibes coming off you. Live, my friends, in a scent bubble. Keep your smile and enjoy a better day. I'm going to go now, and I've got this off button absolutely nailed, because there it is. I've actually put the arrow, the little cursor arrow, ready to press off, and you're thinking, Leggy, just go home, son. All right, see you next time, and goodbye.